Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is your 5-minute call to gather. So please find your seats, finish your visiting. Let's get together and find our chairs. We're 5 minutes from beginning our program. Thank you so much. Danishe Anu, Ununukut, Bozo, Kwe, bonsoir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lance Cardinal. I'm so honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies this evening and for the rest of the week as we all gather in healing. Now, I'm a First Nations artist, designer, entrepreneur, and television personality from the Bigstone Cree Nation in Treaty 8 territory. And also, I am a third-generation residential school survivor. Both my grandparents attended the St. Martin School in northern Alberta and Wabasca Desmarais for most of their childhood. They have now made their journey into the spirit world, with my mother joining them just a short time ago. And I'm now left to carry on our family journey and to continue to heal in their name. And that's why I'm here with you all tonight. I'm grateful to be here with you and to help guide us through this special night of reflection, culture, and connection. On behalf of the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation, Indigenous Services Canada, and the Future Generations Foundation, welcome to our gala dinner, kicking off this national wellness and healing gathering for the residential school survivors and the resolution health support workers. Our theme, Pimaatisin Gaagii Ishi Minigoosiwin, live life the way it was intended to be, is so important tonight. Now, before we continue, I want to acknowledge and thank the Eagle River Singers for convening on us this evening and bringing us together in a good way. Let's hear it for them one more time. That heartbeat of Mother Earth just gets me going. I love it so much. Now, your song helps open our hearts and sets the tone for the healing and connection that we are sharing this evening. Now, as we begin, we honor the survivors of residential schools and the resolution health support workers who walk alongside them every day. And this evening, this gathering is centered on you. We lift our hands to you for your strength, your courage, and for the truths you have shared. We are also delighted this evening to acknowledge Her Excellency, the Right Honourable Mary Simon, Governor-General of Canada, and Mr. Whit Fraser. Let's give them a round of applause. We also want to acknowledge the Right Honourable Michael Jean, former Governor of Canada, and the Right Honourable Joe Clark, former Prime Minister of Canada. Let's give them a big round of applause. They are both honorary witnesses of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We also acknowledge the presence of Senator Brian Francis and Senator Mary Lou McPherson. Let's give them a round of applause as well. Don't worry, we're getting all the applause over with right away. Your hands will have a chance to rest a little bit later. Now, we're so honored to have with us as well our national Indigenous leaders, Cindy Woodhouse-Nipanik, National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations, and Victoria Pruden, President of the Métis National Council. Let's give them a round of applause. We're also pleased to welcome former commissioners of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, Dr. Wilton Littlechild and Dr. Marie Wilson. Let's hear it for them. Now, miigwech to all the leaders gathered here this evening. Thank you for being here to support and honor the survivors, to recognize the work of the resolution health support workers, and to walk with us on this path of healing and truth. Let's turn the page now. Just a reminder as well that we do have our support workers in the room tonight. We're going to be talking about a lot of very important things, but also maybe some triggering things. And we have our blue vest support workers in the room. If you need their support, please approach them and they will support you whenever you need. Now, as we come together on the significant day, yes, 10 years to the day since the closing of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, we ground ourselves in the teaching, lands, and leadership that guide us forward. We are honored to be joined by Elder Claudette Commanda, an Algonquin Anishinaabe from the Kitigan Zibi Anishinaabe First Nation. And Elder Commanda has dedicated over 35 years to advancing Indigenous rights, education, and cultural preservation. She is the Chief Executive Officer of the First Nations Confederacy of Cultural Education Centers and serves as the Chancellor of the University of Ottawa, where she continues to inspire leadership in education. Her spirit name is she who dances with the eagles, reflecting her deep connection to ceremony, the land, and the teachings that sustain us. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Elder Claudette Commanda as she offers the welcome to the treaty. Your mic hook up now too.
Good evening. Kwe kakina. Bonjour tout le monde. Let's show one another how happy that we are here together. Let us say hello to one another. Kwe. Are we all happy? Yes, okay. I begin by acknowledging that beautiful song that was sung by you. Their names are Eagle River Singers, but I call them Kokum's Boys. Thank you, boys. Thank you so much for that beautiful song and invoking the spirits and the ancestors. Thank you. Chimigwej. Chimigwejonji Chimino Nogomowin. That was a beautiful song. To the elders, to the survivors, Your Excellencies, former Prime Minister, and your lovely wife, commissioners, to all community members, to families who are here, together, we stand in this circle. We stand in this circle of kindness, of love. We greet one another with that beautiful gift that the Creator has given us, that gift called love. And it is love that has healed our survivors. It is love through our culture and our languages and our knowledges, and being together as people, healing, that journey of healing. On behalf of the Algonquin Nation, to the many Algonquin people who are in the audience, Algonquin survivors, Algonquin leaders, Algonquin community members from the various Algonquin communities. Miigwej niwichkiwedug, miigwej kibija yegoma nongum, pijajikoma nishnabeeki omamawininiwag. Bienvenue tout le monde, tous mes frères, mes sœurs, mes amis. Bienvenue ici à la territoire non cédé de nos ancêtres, la nation algonquine. We, the people of this land, the Algonquin Nation, as we stand here with our ancestors, we welcome each and every one of you beautiful people, brothers and sisters, to this beautiful homeland, this unsurrendered homeland of the Algonquin people. The homeland that the Creator entrusted onto us since time immemorial, and the homeland that we will ensure will be here everlasting for our children today and tomorrow. And we love each and every one of you. Thank you. Miigwej, Kizagian, I love you all. Miigwej, thank you.
I have so many Kookums in my life now. I love that. Thank you so much, Elder Commanda, my newest Kookum. We love you and we love those words. So beautiful. What a great way to start the day. We now want to invite the next person up to the stage, Mr. Frank Cote, Algonquin Kitigan Zibi, a residential school survivor of St. Mary's Kenora. He is a spokesperson for the Algonquin survivors. Frank is a father of 5, a grandfather of 10, with 1 great-grandson. Please help me welcome to the stage, Frank Cote. Don't listen to them. Troublemakers there.
Good afternoon. I'm not a big speaker, especially with a crowd like this. but I'll do my best. And my name is Frank Cote. I'm a residential survivor. And also, I want to use my Anishinaabe name, which the priest had taken it and turned it to Frank Cote. My Anishinaabe name is Pimaatisin Gaagii Ishi Minigoosiwin. Piskawi Kanamo wan, Kigwetstuk, Egal Tikskito and Anishinaabe mian. Killed a child in the Indian. They wanted us to stop our language, but I still have it and I still carry it with me. Chimigwech, dena, way down spamming, Jiminidoe, Gina di Duenbic, Ega Jimne to one. This say, no go, Mamji, the ink, and no one is a Mum, catch get about the Mengi Yabach. God gave now actually suit down. Just so them watch, you can't them watch, because you miss your way back. We got can't done now what is a unique watch. So today with the gathering here, it has to continue, and we have to talk about the legacy and what the country did to us. I always think in my mind, when I'm sitting at home, I'd like to know how many survivors are left. In my community, there isn't too many of us left. We're passing away. But we want our children, our grandchildren, and my great-grandchild to continue and carry and show what Canada truly is. We shared the country with them. We shared everything with them. And still today, we're still sharing. And we're sharing Mother Earth, which Mother Earth is suffering today. She's trying to fight back, but it's a hard road for them, for her. She has to survive for our generations coming, our children, and generations for the non-natives also. We have to work together to survive in the world. Me ego je tagit kidyan pamawa bang minawas gamat togus. Kinawi pako wiwisne. Tapos I'll notice Chimigwes can get Jiminido. Chimigwes Jiminido kinagego gimi jingonja. Kinagego kigonzak nibing kukmasak shumsak. Ega Jimny King. Gawin Jesus. The Bekizes, Nongshuk, Kimi Jeng, Way Sinzak, Kenda, Wagan, Nibinga, Ziket. Chimigwets, Naysayer, Kimi Jeng, no good excusing. Pitches Kanawe, QA, what was, Nugget Wenham. When you get home, from traveling from far, just remember, we're here together. We'll always be here together. And make sure you tell your kids you love them. That's something that I wasn't taught. And it's my grandchildren. Sitting over here, I heard the voice. They're the ones that taught me how to become a parent and how to love, to share my feelings. Getting emotional now. Okay. Chimigo, it's a good. Hey, thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Frank, for those beautiful, important words. We honor you and we value everything that you say. Now, as we gather on this 10th anniversary of the closing of the TRC, we are reminded that the work of truth-telling and honoring survivor voices continues every day. The National Center for Truth and Reconciliation was created to protect those truths, to support education across Turtle Island, and to ensure survivors and their experiences remain at the heart of reconciliation. It is now my honor to welcome someone who works every day with deep care and commitment to uphold the voices and interests of survivors. Please welcome Stephanie Scott, Executive Director of the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation and Associate Vice President of Reconciliation at the University of Manitoba. Let's hear it for Stephanie.
Hello, everyone. Bonjour, good evening. Miskwa Nakwatakwe Indigenous Wabashishi Todem. It's a privilege to be here with you today on the traditional and unceded lands of the Algonquin people. Miigwech to my dear friends and elders, Claudette Commanda and Elder Cote, miigwech for your words today, and for welcoming us to your territory and for your prayer. My name is Stephanie Scott, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation. My family is from Roseau River Anishinaabe First Nation. I am the daughter of a residential school survivor, and I am a 60 Scoop survivor. This historic gathering is to honor the 10-year anniversary of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's final report. The survivors whose courage made the report possible, and the Resolution Health support workers who continue to walk alongside us. The long and difficult journey of truth and reconciliation began 10 years ago. This journey, set in motion by survivors, was undeniably shaped by leaders like the late Elder and Commissioner Murray Sinclair, who we just lost over 1 year ago. His Honor, Mazina Gijik Iban, described this journey as climbing a mountain. And I'm sure that all of us have gathered here today would agree that Canada still has a very long ascent ahead of us. While we acknowledge this truth, we know that we have a long way to go, and we also celebrate the fact that survivors and those who support you have made incredible progress over the last 10 years. For example, when people visit Parliament Hill now, they will see the survivors' flag flying high. This flag was designed by survivors themselves, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, all representative of the enduring strength and vitality of our cultures and our traditions. It serves as a visible reminder of the shameful treatment endured by Indigenous peoples in Canada. And soon it will be possible to visit the nation's capital and stand before a national monument dedicated to honoring Indian residential school survivors, exactly as the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada called for. Each year on September 30th, we observe the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, also known as Orange Shirt Day, which is now a federal statutory day of remembrance. A day marked by gatherings big and small in schools and communities across Turtle Island. And these are just a few of the examples of how the landscape has changed over the last decade. Change driven by the courage and persistence of survivors and all of you that stand with us and that are here this evening. The National Center for Truth and Reconciliation was born from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada, and we were created to preserve the incredible wealth of knowledge, survivor statements, sacred items, and records gathered by the TRC. We continue to build on the legacy to ensure that future generations will always have access to the truth about residential schools. And the NCTR just released a report looking back at the last 10 years, and the report is available on our website. And we will also have printed copies available at our booth tomorrow. I encourage each and every one of you to take a copy and spend some time reading about all the work that each of you have contributed to this journey. And I'm very proud of how the NCTR has grown over the last decade, from a handful of people to growing a team of more than 70 people to do the work for you. We are also able to offer survivors and your families, residential school historians, and researchers access to far more documents that the TRC was able to obtain. Our archives include a wealth of previously unreleased information, including church and government records, medical reports, and more. And as we continue the Sacred Bundle work, working with survivors who were not previously ready to share their truths, we are actively engaging with governments to acquire new records. We know there are more than 20 million records that still need to be transferred into our care by the federal government. The NCTR is hosted by the University of Manitoba, and for the last 10 years, we've operated out of a temporary location at the university's Fort Garry campus, with our archives and staff spread across several buildings. But survivors have shared a different vision for the NCTR, a vision where we have our own permanent home designed to support our unique mandate and honor the truths of residential school survivors for a long, long, long time. This place will protect and preserve all the gifts that survivors have given to this country, a sacred space of healing, a global learning lodge for our children and for future generations. And I'm also very, very thrilled and honored to report that this dream is getting closer to becoming a reality. Thanks to our team's very successful fundraising campaign, the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation has raised $92 million of $100 million to build and fulfill the survivors' vision. Thank you. And I really would like to thank the NCTR Survivors Circle and our governing circle for their guidance and support of this work. They lead us along with our elders and residents every day, and I can tell you that the journey has been long, hard, and very difficult for all of us that do this, for all of you every day. In January, following the guidance of survivors and communities, we will hold ceremony to select an Indigenous architect to design our new home. None of this would be possible without all of you, all the survivors, the health and cultural supports, and all of you who continue to stand with us. And I'm very honored that with the help of our partners, we are able to bring all of you here today to celebrate your accomplishments, to lift you up, and to support you on the healing journeys. It's going to be a wonderful few days. And again, I would like to thank our funding partners and the many people behind the scenes who made this all possible. Miigwech to all of you. Thank you for your time. Miigwech.
All right. We are now pleased to welcome to the stage Senator Brian Francis, who has been a steadfast supporter of the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation and an important voice for the Mi'kmaq and Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island. Now, Senator Brian Francis is a member of the Ebequid First Nation, which is part of the Mi'kmaq Nation located on Prince Edward Island, and his leadership in the Senate has helped advance many conversations essential to truth, healing, and reconciliation. And his ongoing support of the NCTR is deeply appreciated. Please join me in welcoming Senator Brian Francis.
Your Excellencies, former Prime Minister Joe Clark, Indigenous leaders, honorable colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As we gather at this meaningful moment, the 10th anniversary of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's final report and its 94 calls to action, I am deeply honored to address you. This time of year invites both reflection and renewal. Reflection on the path we have traveled together, and renewal on our shared commitment to work that lies ahead. In the last decade, Canada has begun to reckon with its past and mistreatment of Indigenous peoples in Canada. the residential school system being one of the most widespread and enduring examples. In 2015, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission documented in an undeniable and comprehensive way truths that had been ignored or dismissed for generations, making it no longer acceptable for anyone to say, "I did not know." The progress made to date to uncover the full truth and address past and ongoing wrongs would not have happened without the courage and determination of survivors, some of whom are here today. This country is indebted to all those who shared and continue to share their personal experiences, fighting not only to be heard and believed, but also to seek justice and healing for themselves, as well as their families and communities. Your leadership built the foundation and roadmap for how to rebuild better relationships between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people in Canada. We have seen some important steps in recent years, including the establishment of the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. However, progress remains slow. It is no secret that most calls to action remain unfilled, and many levels of government have shifted their attention elsewhere. At the federal level, for example, we have seen a sharp decline in the funding to support Indigenous communities in their efforts to find, identify, and commemorate the children who died while being forced to attend residential schools, which directly contradicts stated commitments to reconciliation. This anniversary provides an opportunity for Canada as a whole to recommit itself to working with Indigenous peoples. It is not enough to acknowledge what happened and apologize. We must choose a better future, one where Indigenous peoples are valued and supported, and take responsibility for building it, not with symbolic words or gestures, but with tangible actions and results. So as we enter the next chapter in our shared history, let us renew our commitment to reconciliation. We Indigenous and non-Indigenous people work closely together to achieve meaningful and lasting change. And as emotional or difficult as it can be, we must continue to hold authorities fully accountable for their commitments and obligations every day. These efforts are grounded in responsibility and hope, with love for our children and grandchildren and those yet to come. To every survivor and their families and their members, thank you. Canada will not be here without you. And we will continue to be guided by your strength. And to every support worker that works beside them, thank you for all that you do. Walaliok, merci, miigwech, thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Francis. Well, we now have the honor of welcoming someone whose work has been deeply connected to the voices and experiences of survivors. He served as the Director of Statement Gathering for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where he helped ensure that the truths shared by survivors were honored and preserved with great care. He went on to become the founding director of the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation, shaping its vision and purpose as a home for those truths. Today, Rai continues to support this work through his role as the Associate University Librarian, Reconciliation at the University of Victoria, advancing Indigenous knowledge and memory keeping. Alongside this work, Rai is a talented musician who carries songs of healing and stories, remembrance, and connection. We are grateful to have him with us tonight. Please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Rai Moran.
All right. I snuck in at the piano here. What a treat it is to be here this evening and to have the opportunity to play a bit of a song for you. And this particular song is a song that I wrote actually before I joined the TRC. And it's about being a small part of something really big. And I think that's something that we're all a part of today as we think about healing, truth, reconciliation, and just as I get ready to sing this song, I can say sincerely from the bottom of my heart what a privilege it has been to serve this incredible work that has happened across the country, and to have been part of the healing that's so very, very needed. And it is a complete honor to be in a room with so many dedicated and talented people that have put so much into this. And to all the survivors in the room, your truth, your strength, and your courage continues to be an absolute source of inspiration. So I'll try my best to sing a little song here for you, and it's called Humanity, and here we go. Well, I'm just a blade of grass on the plain, and I could go on about it all day, gracefully waving my bright sleeve of green. It'd be the best blade of grass you've ever seen. I couldn't forget, as blessed as I am, the size of this valley within which I stand. And however handsome I dance with the wind, I dance not on my own, but with all of my kin. I'm just a drop of water so clear, not for the rain, not a soul would live here. And there will be treasures to reap with your hands, should you be so lucky to live where I land. As I descend, it all will depend on how fate should choose to deal to me my hand. To be a lone droplet that fades with the dew, join a great wave in an ocean of blue. See, therein lies the beauty, therein lies the joys of waters and grasses and proud girls and boys. See, it's all fine and well being special, you see, but what makes us one is our humanity. What makes us one is our humanity. Yeah, what makes us one is our humanity. Saying what makes us one is our humanity. Yeah, what makes you one is your humanity. Yeah, what makes us one is our humanity.
Wow, absolutely incredible. Let's get one more round of applause for Rai Moran. Beautiful. Of course, the best time of the night has now arrived. Our first part of our program is done. It's time for us to have some dinner, which will be served to our tables. Yes. This ain't no buffet gala. We're getting served at the tables, okay? This is a big deal. So we're going to have an hour break from an hour supper service here. A little reminder again, if you do have elders at your table, allow the elders to be served first. Then we can have our dinner in a good way. So once again, thank you so much. I'm Lance Cardinal. Enjoy your supper. We'll see you in an hour. All right, my friends, if you're all finished your lovely meals, I think they were delicious. All those prairie chickens they gathered for us today was amazing. But now that we've had our dinner, right before we have our dessert, we're so excited to have with us a performer to sing a song for us during our little break here. We know this person, he's incredible. Sagi Ottawa is an Atikamekw singer-songwriter and educator from the community of Manawan in the Lanaudière region of Quebec. Now, through his music, performed in the Atikamekw language, he carries forward the stories, spirituality, and resilience of the Atikamekw Niholiwisio people, inviting audiences into a deeper understanding of his nation and its traditions. Please welcome to the stage, Sagi Ottawa.
Kwe kiskina nimshta ma kimshtaram kadno nimshta mirerten ksterten ki uijamguan ki jibenda nagamwan utsigirwa kiskina. Hello everyone, my name is Sagi Ottawa. I come from Manawan of the Atikamekw Nation. I am truly honored to be here among you at this event gathering the survivors of the residential schools. The invitation I received to come and sing for you touched me deeply. I would like to thank the organization for inviting me. I wish to express my deep respect and love to all the survivors of the residential schools. Like most children who lived in the 1950s and 1960s, my parents, aunts, and uncles were forcibly taken to these institutions. This had a significant impact of the lives of all these individuals. For the song I will perform on this occasion, I have chosen one titled Niwashten Magan, which means my light. Stagak skiertuman Agagiwaw Kijijin duertamet Miduim Sinaw gawinan Gimut Gimadon Epuzyak bandu Bizkaye Skudeu daban Nutawe Gewiki Mujim Madu Gyuchi Kagizme Nimushom Kaye Noko Gimishta Sketmo Donchitayan Mal Gaiwa Magi Nigawe Nutawe Shima Namangishtanewi Nutaman Namangishtanewi Muteya Bimstam Wimski Wijam No Chime Rakasmuni Kemsta Kishidishi Nutawe Hey Kutwet Nigawe Hey Anasket Nimista Samre Ramon Hadik Mew Neruizian Hepe Ski Yean Agi Niwi Miroatse Donchitayan Ma Ajienwa Mangi Nigawe Nutawe Shima Ajingishtanewi Nutaman Ajingishtanewi Muteya Thank you very much. Thank you. The next song.
Oh, you were doing a double bill today, Sagi. You can play all night long if you want to. We got some incredible youth who are waiting by, coming here to show us some music, so it's up to you. Come back? Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Sagi Ottawa.
Merci beaucoup. See you later.
We got to run a tight ship here, folks, okay? He has 2 songs? Oh my gosh, I didn't know he was supposed to do 2 songs. No one told me that. Ever sick, I'm so sorry. We love you. Amit. Oh, Amit. We want to hear another song. Another song. Another song. Another song. Let's go. Let's go. Let's give it up for Sagi.
OK. Je savais pas si je devais chanter 2 chansons de suite. Je voulais pas déranger le plan. Mais allons-y pour une autre chanson. Une chanson qui s'intitule Miigwech. Miigwech qui veut dire merci. Hein? Un mot important qu'on doit dire à chaque fois qu'on nous transmet quelque chose. Et on doit dire merci. Souvent, c'est les aînés, justement, qui nous enseignent beaucoup. Et j'ai voulu écrire une chanson pour les honorer de tout ce qu'ils nous ont transmis en héritage. Miigwech, a song that means thank you. On this day, we pay tribute to the cultural heritage of all elders, true guardians of wisdom and traditions. Let us say thank you for teaching us by exemplifying their resilience and deep respect for nature, which teach us essential values, community, solidarity, and harmony with our environment. Let us honor their voices, their stories, and their culture, which continue to inspire and guide our path. I invite everyone to dance to honor them. You ready? Yeah? Okay.
Me with an emotion, me with no good. Hey, shoe wedding at mom. Hey, skin no one. Me with an emotion. Me with no good. When I'm done, man, I'm sure that. Hey, 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 we are hey, 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 Egunawagi Shnagadoje Ide Matakatayan It's Mamu Westi Tateya Egunawagi Shnagadoje Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Chiguan mate chitutman, dane machi tateyan. Egun wage, snaganuje. Hiden matan katayan, smabu eshi tateyan. Egun wage, snaganuje. Hey, 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 hey. Miwet in emotion. Miwet nogon. Ruinenan. Zaktanan. Day by day. Hashtag ni mentionan. Ruinenan. Tikinagon. Hey, good day. Aragno semana. Hey, 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 hey. We are hey. We are hey. Hey, hey, we are hey. We are hey. We are hey. We are Merci beaucoup, tout le monde. Bonne fin de soirée. Be words.
Let's hear it for Sagi, Ottawa! Woo! Amazing! Oh my goodness, that was so much fun. Thank you for doing a second song. Wow, we didn't expect that at all. And thank you to my backup dancers. That was so much fun. Amazing. I had a lady there. She was like, "Don't hurt my knee. My knee is sore." This is an elders gathering, okay? I forgot. I'm trying to spin some elder in a circle. Anyway, we're going to have a little bit of a break, pull out some dessert for us. It's going to be incredible. And then we're going to have some amazing, brilliant youth from Nunavut to perform for us. It's going to be amazing. So dessert and then some more. So we're going to come right back. See you soon. We have our desserts. We're ready to go and enjoy this sweet little treat we have in front of us. But even more exciting, I'm so thrilled to introduce our next group. I love when the youth come together to perform, and they're coming together today to perform for us. The students of Nunavut Sivugniksavut represent Inuit youth who are studying Inuit culture, history, and leadership here in Ottawa. Through their performances, they share Inuit dream dance, song, and the strength and the pride of their communities. Please join me in welcoming the students of the Nunavut Sivugniksavut program.
Good evening. Okay.
Unukut ilinak tiuvugut nunavut Sivugniksavut sila tusak vingme. Tamani atuvami kuvasuk pugu tavani katagun nagatta.
Good evening. We are students from Nunavut Sivugniksavut, a college program here in Ottawa. We are honored to be here with you.
Ingyang narang miyavu atinga immakali. Una ingyusuk unikaktok inuksungme. Kami inuksuk talekang nang ma sakik pagtunilu nuname. Tusakalak tuti inuksuk ukalalektok ilingnuk. Nipinga kinikarakaviu inuksuk talipok. Inuksuk takuyay inuyaktok. Kawimavugu inuksuk atok tawaloktok. Namunga valaluti kanukuluyak atok tawarong miyok kanuiteli ng mut nirang niyang mut pekating nginulu nalunay kutariyaw luni.
Our next song is called Immakali. It is a song about an Inukshuk. The story is about being on the land and seeing an Inukshuk appear and disappear before your eyes. As we know, Inukshuks are used for navigation. It signifies many things, including safety, hope, friendship, and is a true symbol of courage and pride.
Tamani akagumit amisuvut ilitivalayul kawivalalutik piyunak silutik lukatajang ng me. Inang naktaka ilinakatika kadadakulugi.
This year, we have many students who are passing down the knowledge and skills of throat singing. If you aren't familiar with throat singing, traditionally, throat singing took place when women carried their babies in their amautis. The singing and vibrations the baby would feel would help soothe the child and help them sleep. Today, throat singing is becoming popular once again and is a fun pastime. When two voices are singing, they are in competition. The first throat singer to laugh loses. I'll invite my classmate to sing a couple throat songs with me. The first throat song we'll be doing is called Kimirulwapik.
The next song we'll be doing is called Pitikutupia.
Our song is Western style dance. We feel privileged to have learned from our teachers Debbie and Colton Rubin from the Western Arctic known as Innu Valley region in the Northwest Territories. As Inuit, we are proud of where we came from, which is the meaning of the next Western Arctic song performed by men. It is called At Uvatuka. The movements of the men demonstrate that they are showing pride, strength for the learned traditions and culture that we passed on from our family and community. They are showing the pride they hold to uplift the men who have and are learning these traditions. Thank you for having us. It means a lot to be here. Kuya Namik.
It's so amazing when young people do things like that, when they share culture and they're learning and they're sharing it in such a proud way. We love them. Let's give them one more round of applause. Woo, beautiful. Those drummers, settle down. We're gonna kick you out. Real sacred guys. All right, now, our next speaker represents an organization dedicated to supporting the healing, well-being, and future of survivors and their families. The Future Generations Foundation plays an important role in strengthening programs, knowledge sharing, and community-led initiatives that help carry this work forward for the next generations. Now, please welcome to the stage Arnold Blackstar, Chair of the Future Generations Foundation.
Tansigakyo nigana kakyo katamsgat no takakyo gaek miosin gakyo betoxine kanus. Buju hani Arnold Blackstar Disnikaz Musliman First Nation Don Jaba. I want to say thank you to all of you again for coming. And I want to say thank you to all our dignitaries here, Your Excellencies, special guests, members of the National Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and as well as the National Truth and Reconciliation Center as well. A few weeks ago, one of my colleagues who is Algonquin from Kippawa on the Wolf Lake First Nation told me about something that her father told her. So her dad said, you know, why we are here, why we are still here, us Indians, it is because we know how to adapt and survive. We know how to adapt and survive. We have survived, all of you here have survived, and that your children and grandchildren will continue to adapt and survive. So that was the words that my colleague shared with me, and I'm glad to share that with you this evening as part of this presentation. I also met some ladies that I haven't met before from Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Nova Scotia. They're sitting over there at table 42. They told me, they're waving over there. So, they told me, never mind your written speech, speak from the heart. So I said, okay, that's the first time I'm going to do that, but I will do that. So I'm going to set aside my speech. So for all that I am, I'm also the chair of the Future Generations Foundation. The Future Generation Foundation was born out of the National Indian Brotherhood Trust Fund, which was established by then the National Indian Brotherhood, which eventually became the Assembly of First Nation. So that was in 1972. 10 years ago as well, which is now the Future Generations Foundation, received monies that was left over from the Indian Residential School Settlement Agreement. So all of the monies that were paid out to survivors, the common experience payments, the education credits, that's the money that was received and is currently held by the Future Generations Foundation in trust. We as a foundation 10 years ago invested the money. From that investment, annually we provide grants to organizations, First Nations communities, organizations for healing, wellness, language, and culture. We also provide scholarships to individuals who want to pursue education or other ways of learning their language, culture, and also pursue healing. So that's what we do currently. I also wanted to introduce my colleagues. We are appointed by the Assembly of First Nation, so the regional chiefs from each of the provinces and territories appoint the following trustees. So if you look at table 9 over there, I'll get my colleagues to perhaps stand up and do the royal wave if you can. Jasmine Prairie from the New Brunswick Prince Edward Island. Armand Laplante from Saskatchewan. Ginny Thibodeau Rankin from Quebec, Labrador. Carolyn Minochi from the Northwest Territories. Mindy Denny from Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, over here. And as well as Linda Trudeau from Ontario. And we also have our executive director, Naomi Rousset, who is right here as well. So that's the team that we work with every year. We receive applications every year from individuals who want to pursue education, from organizations, communities who want to do healing and wellness, restoration, preservation of language and culture. That's really what we do on an annual basis. We get more applications than we have money for each year. So we started to diversify our funding by doing fundraising. And I just want to say thank you to all our donors that are maybe here in the room. And we need it because there's not enough money to provide scholarships for individuals who want to pursue education or language and culture and healing. One of the challenges that we have is really around the framework in which we operate. We are a charity. We have to abide by the rules of the Canada Revenue Agency, and most of the times they are restrictive. We cannot give to individual or organizations and communities twice in 10 years, for example. We're trying to work around that, but we have to apply to the court and get permission to be able to provide funds more than 2 times in 10 years to a community for healing and wellness, language and culture. The other is around the scholarships. Although, there's a lot of need across the organization, the country, one of the things is that there's also other ways of transmitting knowledge. When you're looking at culture and language activities from First Nations, it's really a transmission from knowledge keepers to young people. And that is not in a university, it's not in a college, and it's not in a school. So what that means is that they would not be eligible for a scholarship because it has to be a scholarship activity as defined by the Canada Revenue Agency. Most of the time, education means you have to be in college or a university to do that. And that really takes away from what a lot of First Nations communities are doing, including the Indigenous institutes that operate in a lot of the communities across Canada. They are trying to work with their communities to preserve and restore language, to provide a basis of culture, exposure to in First Nations ways of knowing, doing, and being within the education systems. When you think about education systems and as well as the Indian Residential School Settlement Agreement, they never envisioned that these institutions do more than what universities and colleges have done since their inception. This means that Indigenous institutes across Canada are in a better position to provide the support that communities need, that individuals need in order to transfer knowledge, culture, language, healing, but also as a way to adapt and survive, as my colleague had mentioned to me earlier. I know that from speaking to some folks already today, some have said that the Indian Residential School, we could learn from the Indian Residential School Settlement Agreement. Not a lot of the survivors had wanted the money to go to the National Indian Brotherhood Trust Fund because Canada was simply trying to right a wrong that it had created. that by ensuring that education was the basis of the Indian Residential School Settlement Agreement, it relieves them from funding equitably universities in the same way that universities and colleges are funded, these indigenous institutes, or even elementary and secondary schools. So that's what I've heard so far today. I'm really looking forward to listening to you in the next couple days as we look towards amending some of the work that we're doing through the court in order to meet the needs of survivors, intergenerational survivors. I also want to say thank you to the young people that came from Nunavut, Sava, Nitsiavut, Guanamik. They are one of the organizations that I worked with here in Ottawa that really started the idea that we could do things outside of the existing systems and do it on our own. So I thank them very much. So with that, thank you very much for listening. I want to say, Jimmy Gwitz to all of you, and we wish you all the best in the next few days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Blackstar. Now, this gathering has been made possible thanks to the generous funding from both the Future Generations Foundation and the Government of Canada. So thank you, Mr. Blackstar, and thank you to all those who have contributed to making this gathering a reality. Let's give them all a round of applause. Now, tonight, we honor John Jones Tsek-Almit, a survivor of the Alberni Indian Residential School, whose courage and compassion touched so many. John was among the brave survivors who stepped forward in the early court proceedings, helping to break the silence and bring truth to light. He later served with the NCTR Survivors Circle and spent many years supporting survivors and families as a counselor and traditional helper. He was a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a great-grandfather. And earlier this year, he received the King Charles III Coronation Medal for his lifelong commitment to truth, healing, and justice. We now invite you to join us in reflecting on his life, his strength, and the legacy he leaves behind as we share this heartfelt tribute.
My traditional name is Silkhamet. That name was given to me by my grandmother in a longhouse. It's a position I hold. I stand in the background. When people need me, that's when I step forward. I went to Alberni Indian Residential School. Stepfather went there, and my older sibs went there. I used to watch my friends getting beat up for speaking their language. I made a promise as a little kid to myself that I'm going to forget my traditional language. I know when the old ones are talking because my heart and my spirit feels that my language is the one that I grieve the most.
For a while in my life, I was addicted to alcohol and rage. I didn't think there was no hope until one day my stepfather told me about his experiences about being at residential school. He let me cry in his arms for a long time. Welcome home, son. Human beings are allowed to talk about their things that hurt them. That was the first time of hope that I seen.
The first time I met John, I met a leader. He doesn't showboat, he doesn't show off. He says, we're gonna do all right because you're the oldest sister and I'm the youngest brother, so we'll tolerate each other, which is absolutely true. You really can't be a sissy if you're married to an Indian residential school survivor. I love them to bits. So here we are 37 years later.
You're engaged? Do you think so?
Yeah.
I was one of the first of 17 plaintiffs to officially charge a staff of Indian residential school. I've worked with people who have been abused, and I know the court system, and I don't want to go see that. My friend that said, we'll stand together. He started getting scared that they were going to come and get him because he broke the silence. He got so scared that he committed suicide.
It was horrible. One offender, one pedophile, who was sadistically violent with them in one school. And this went on like across the country.
In trial, the church representative wanted to meet with the spokesperson from our group, and they asked us what we wanted. There's no word for sorry in our language. You come and make it right in the place where it's important to us. That lady responded, said, no, I can't do that. So we walked out of the room and she didn't get an apology. A break in court, I needed space from everything. Court officer took me to a room by myself. The man that was being charged got locked into the same room as me. My first thought was going to beat the shit out of him. I heard my grandmother's and my parents' voice. You'd be just like them. So I held myself back, and that was the tensest moments. Since that movement started, it's been like breaking the silence, not being the victim anymore. I've come to that point in my life now that I can forgive him. I've carried that hurt around a long time. One of the things that I've always treasured in my life is family.
I am John Jones's granddaughter. I love his creativity and his sense of humor.
We're having a family lunch here on Sisseton today. Sisseton is the spring territory for our Snuneymuxw people.
There's definitely a lot of challenges that my father has faced throughout his time. He's had decades of healing in times where there were not foundations or things set up to support survivors in their healing. There's still those times where it's a trigger because it's not easy, and these things are lifelong journeys in healing.
In my younger life, I knew a lot about what he was going through. My dad has always maintained a close relationship with me. I just want to say thank you for being the best dad ever, for loving me and nurturing my soul.
My dad inspires me every day. My dad is my hero.
He's really resilient.
He carries himself well everywhere he goes. He taught me to carry myself well.
It was always told to me that family is our strength.
Me, I love you the most. You're my mom.
The more you build it up, the stronger you get.
I just want to say how proud I am of my papa for all of the work that I know of and all of the work that I don't know of. He's done so much good work, and I couldn't be any more proud to be his granddaughter. Love you, Pop.
Congratulations on your award, Papa. I love you.
We are here as a family, friends, survivors, and community to celebrate a man who has been a cornerstone of the Indian Residential School Survivors Society for over 30 years.
He has broken so many molds to be the father, the uncle, the grandfather.
Tonight is absolutely so special to my heart because John Jones has dedicated his entire life to servicing anyone that has been going first through addictions and drugs and later went into working with us after he retired as cultural support.
He has carried his own healing journey with courage and has reconnected to culture in a way that inspires all of us.
I want to thank Angela. With all the people that you put me in touch with, has brought me to a deeper level of my own healing. The old ones often used to tell me when I started working in this field and started working on myself that it's going to take 4 generations for it to get back to the way it was. To hear my great-granddaughter sing happy birthday to my wife in Hulkamanum, like, that was really touched my heart. Be proud of who you are. We still got a long ways to go yet, but that strength lives in each and every one of you. I was involved in politics, and I seen this lady walking in with a red suit. I'm in a blue jeans and a t-shirt. I thought, no way she's gonna look at me, but I can admire her.
We loved each other. We knew we really liked each other. There was a lot that was really good. The baggage that comes with residential school is so huge. And my husband is a miracle because he's from generations of residential school.
Yvonne was able to help me break down the walls, and she taught me how to love.
Can I have some squishes? I'd say that John's inspired me to believe in myself, to believe in my gifts.
My children are my hope. My grandchildren are my hope. My great-granddaughter is my hope. That's who we are as First Nations people. The future belongs to the children.
So as we hold John's memory in our hearts, we also honor the loved ones who walked beside him throughout his life and who continue to carry his teachings forward. This evening, we invite Yvonne Jones, John's wife, and Jeremy Jones, his son, to join us on stage. In recognition of their strength, their love, and the legacy they continue to uphold, we offer this blanket ceremony as a gesture of protection, comfort, and respect. Miigwech, Yvonne, and Jeremy Jones for joining us this evening and for allowing us to honor you with this blanket ceremony, a symbol of protection, respect, and love. Now, our next speaker is someone whose life work has been shaped by both personal experience and a profound commitment to justice, healing, and reconciliation. Dr. Wilton Littlechild is a former commissioner of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and a survivor of the Ermineskin Indian Residential School. His lived experience, along with his unwavering advocacy, helped guide the Commission's work with integrity, compassion, and deep respect for survivors. Over many decades, Dr. Littlechild has been a leader, an educator, and champion for Indigenous rights in Canada and internationally, always working to advance truth, healing, and understanding. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Wilton Littlechild. Who stole the chair? It's coming, Doctor.
Nigan gahkioktam skadnaan totemtik. Miasinoma seminam staki goyotse. Emmamunto ja ngeton. Ekiskut doa ki kawassak. Tahto muga ipegiwetsk. Astigiteeg. Kakikt magaskanetskuta. Ykskina naskumt naagahkiu. Emietam heegen geton. Kaina tauteittamuk. Uihaga ja simuan. Vomme uihabtsihtaanum. Sorry. I just greeted you in my language to acknowledge all the good words that have been said already in this emotional evening. I was admiring all the talent, and I have to tell the truth. After all, I was a commissioner for Truth and Reconciliation. About this time of the year in my school, the principal would look around for talent for the Christmas concert. And I can tell you many of my classmates were very, very talented. So among that group of talent, I had to be put up there as well to play my part at the Christmas concert. All the different talent, as I say, the singing, like we heard tonight. I thought I might qualify for this triangle where you just used to hit it every few seconds. I can hear some of you may have had that experience. So here I am, opening night, the curtains open, audience is out there of parents, my classmates, everyone is out there from the school. And I had to play the role of the Christmas tree. I stood there like this. I was decorated with a star on my head, decorated like a tree, And this is the truth. I was a tree during the Christmas concert. So I'm going to ask a classmate, we couldn't avoid this opportunity, to come and join me. During the residential school era, many of you know personally or have heard that September was crying month. September was crying month because that's when all this that was heard in the communities was parents, grandparents, guardians crying because their children had been taken away. And children crying because they didn't know why they were being taken away. So September was crying month, but June 28th was Freedom Day. So in our school, we have a song that we sang on Freedom Day. I don't know if Rick is still here, if he wants to join me. We're going to sing you 2 songs from residential school. Remembering that June 28th was Freedom Day, you got to go home the next day. And maybe it was, what would I call it, a serenade? Because we were divided all year, the boys and girls were divided. So this song, the Ermineskin School residential song, was sung on Freedom Day, June 28th, every year. So Rick and I will now sing it for you, but we're going to sing it in Cree. But for some of you who don't understand Cree, we will also sing it in English. So bear with us. You saw some good talent here. You heard some good talent.
That's why we were trees.
So Freedom Day, the song. Wapake nuikiwan, wapake nuikiwan, kispin kasagihin, sema kikochemen.
All you Crees, come on, kick in.
Okay then, in English. Hey. That's a censored part of it.
That's why Lance is back there.
So the English version of Freedom Day song goes like this. Tomorrow I'm going home, tomorrow I'm going home. If you love me, kiss me right away.
This is an international song. We were in Guatemala at the Parliamentarians of Americas, and we were riding on a bus to go to have supper, and the Guatemalan girls were singing a song to us. So Willie and myself and the Chief Victor Buffalo, we said, well, let's sing a song back, and we sang this song to them. And we translated the song to them. The girls all went crazy on the bus. They thought that was the coolest thing they ever heard.
But I have to say it was quiet for a while after we sang because they were waiting for the translation to Spanish to English. English to Spanish, I mean.
Willie and I will be doing our show in Montreal next week.
The next survivors gathering. You heard the Inuit throat song. There's an old song way back that was taught to us as well, because we're fishing people as well. And this one is very rarely sung and shared, so very especially for you, the survivors. Tonight is about you, survivors. We wouldn't be here without you, so we want to sing a fish song dedicated to the survivors. It goes like this. Did you get it?
I'll sing that first verse. Tell them about the Olympic song. I'll sing it to them real quick.
That's a really old song. Let me tell you.
We haven't even sang it to our wives.
So as an ambassador for the Olympics, I'm very honored to participate in the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. And we dedicated a song for the Olympics this last Winter Games. And the drum is going to be put into I believe it's going to be the Calgary airport on display that they used at the Olympics. But Rick sang a song that goes with the drum. It's an Olympic song, and we'll hear from him and we'll continue.
Willie's forgetting the first part. It takes 2 hours to drive to Calgary from Musquecheese. And I knew we were going to give a drum. So we get 1 hour into our driving, Willie turns to me and says, "You know, brother, I forgot to tell you something." And I went, "What?" And it always scares me when he does that. He says, "I forgot to tell you that we're going to be giving him a song that the chef will take to Beijing, and they're going to tape it and sing it over there for Team Canada. So you need to make a song within the next 45 minutes." So we get to the Olympic Village, and I finally got the song down. I'll sing it to you real quick. I'll sing the first verse. And that song is about how, and this really referenced all of us here in the room, about how we're going far, far away on this journey, and we're asking the Creator to bless our journey, to look after us, and that's what the song is about. So I'll just sing the first version. And don't ever tell anybody about the fish song between Willie and I. My relations. The last time I sang in Ottawa was for when we first started the TRC 10 years ago. I was in Parliament with a hand drum, and again, Willie says, "Jump on a plane. We're going to do a little something." And I get here, and there's a big something. And I got to walk in the procession, and with my hand drum, and I sang a blessing song. And we started TRC. That's siya sa kanya. Ogumausko Expi. Michelle
Jean.
She's here. The beautiful lady there. She was there, and she welcomed us. And I told her the story. I have a hand drum at home. My father, Albert Lightning, was here when they defeated the white paper. And at that time, Pierre Elliott Trudeau was the prime minister. And when we defeated it, my dad had a drum, and he signed it. Luck. He signed Pierre Elliott Trudeau. I have that hand drum. So when I told this beautiful woman here, I said, I told her that story, and I said, "I have a drum now that we're starting a TRC. Would you sign this for me?" And some of our advisors are going, "No, you can't do that." And she goes, "No, I'm going to sign it. If the Prime Minister can sign his father's drum, I'm going to sign his drum." and she signed my drum, and I have that drum at the beginning of the TRC when we started, because she was such a beautiful lady and so instrumental in supporting us at the Parliament, at that area, at that level of Parliament, and I always remember her. And the only problem is I keep messing up her name because I'm terrible with her name. But I just wanted, that's the last time I sang here, and for this beautiful lady, and she was, I seen her and I hugged her, and my table's all looking at me. I says, I think we actually took the wrong table. We got you guys' table over there. Because we're sitting beside the dignitaries and all of it, and I'm so happy to be here. And again, and Lance, I didn't even know I was coming up here. Surprise. Okay, Willie, go ahead.
Hey, thank you. So, 10 years ago, it's been a decade already, and I ask your permission to sit. My hip isn't hipping anymore, and my back isn't backing. Too many injuries, so I'm gonna, with your permission, stay seated to give a couple of reflections on the 10 years. And I recall our grandfather once said, you have to look back to yesterday to know where you are today, if you're going to know where you're going tomorrow. So it's been 10 years. We reflect back, excuse me, and thank you to the courage and resilience of the survivors here tonight. When I was asked to join the commission, and I want to thank Dr. Marie Wilson, who should be up here with me, and all the dignitaries that have been acknowledged. I just add my voice to acknowledge all of your excellencies. So when we look back, like I did, I think, oh yes, I was a Christmas tree. And yes, I was taken when I was 6 years old, but the law was actually 7 for you to be taken to residential school. So since then, I've spent 14 years of my life in 3 different residential schools. I was asked once, how come you spend 14 years in residential school? I said, well, I flunked grade 8 3 times. So we look at the 10 years through the eyes of a survivor. And for me, I remember many times I would go for a run at night. And there was a track around the school. I wish I had a picture of my school here I could show you. I really wanted to show you my first school picture, because you would see the building is 3 stories. There's the top level where the nuns used to live. The floor below that, I've been challenged how I know this, was the girls' dorm. But actually, 7 of my sisters lived on that floor. And the floor below that was the classrooms. And then the basement was a dining area. But when you look at it from the air, you would also see there's a boys' dorm beside it. Big boys, medium boys, and little boys. But behind that structure was a horse barn, a cow barn, a pig pen, a chicken coop. So basically, as children, we were raising ourselves. Because to the right of the photograph, you would have seen a potato field where we grew our potatoes and all our other food. Had a lot of potato fights actually in that area of the school. But what I wanted you to see was in front of the school, there's a barbed wire fence. And when I say that, people usually tell me, "Oh, get over it, Willie. So what? There's a barbed wire fence." But I'm here to tell you it was an electric fence. For 11 years, I was behind that electric fence. Then I moved on to other schools. And I tell you that story because I'm really, really concerned about today before we look to the future. Today, when I see universities are inviting speakers to come on campus and deny there's such a thing as residential schools. And I was actually quite disappointed that my own school didn't invite me at the same time as they were inviting speakers at the University of Alberta to come and talk to the students, 700, 800 at a time, denying the residential schools ever existed. So I'm concerned about that today. But I don't want to dwell there, because when I used to go for a run at night, before they had to go back to the same spot anyway, I would actually run sometimes in tears, just to run away from the abuse. And as a commissioner, I didn't realize why I didn't want to do the commission work until 2 years into it. When I was phoned in Geneva, I was at the United Nations. Phone call came in late at night. Actually, it was 2 a.m. with the time difference. And they said, "Willie, little child?" I said, "Yes." "Am I bothering you?" He said, "Well, I was kind of sleeping." It's 2 in the morning here. And she said, "Well, you've been named as one of the 3 commissioners. What do you have to say?" I said, "Well, I don't really have too much to say right now. And by the way, how long a term is it? And how often do I have to be there?" And she said, "Well, I think it's only part-time." And I said, "Okay, I'll put my hat in the ring and take it on." But it was only 2 years after I started realizing I was going to be hearing my own story being told in front of me over and over and over again. And you know it, the physical abuse, mental abuse, cultural abuse, spiritual abuse, and worst of all, sexual abuse. It was only 2 years into it that I realized why I did not want to do it. But when I look back 10 years, I'm so thankful, grateful that I had this blessing of hearing over 7,000 of the most horrific abuse cases you'll ever hear. I won't repeat them, but you know them yourself. You've lived them. So I want to applaud the survivors who are here. The spiritual advisors that helped us survive our journey, our own journey as commissioners. The health supports, some of you are in the room. You played such a key role in the success of the commission. The mental health supports, the spiritual and cultural supports that we had blanketed ourselves as commissioners so we could go on this journey with you. So I ran away from the abuse, but then I started realizing, actually, I started to feel good running. So I turned my mindset to run not away from the abuse, but towards sports. That was my savior. I would run to sport. I found sport when I was 14 years old, or it found me, I guess, when I was 14. Started playing hockey. So I share the anguish and the pain that many of you went through But I want to applaud your courage and your strength to have lived through that journey, seeking both justice and healing. And yes, we needed a lot of help to do that. One of the really impactful lessons I learned, and you heard it tonight, you saw it in a video, you heard it on the stage, was the importance of language. You see, my grandpa who raised me, he couldn't speak English. He couldn't read or write English. So I was grounded in Cree. That's the only language in the house. My grandmother, on the other hand, bless her soul, at that time, I guess it was like university. She had grade 9. And between the two of them, they worked as a team. My grandfather being a chief for 12 years, being on council for 22 years, actually. And then she would write his minutes, his letters, read his correspondence for him, and so on. I used to watch that. And it instilled in me the value of both a traditional education and a mainstream education. Sometimes I say I learned to work and walk with a shoe on one foot and a moccasin on the other, to try and have that balance that they were encouraging me to seek. But let me just pause for a moment and talk about language and the importance. Because in a second year, when we did our interim report as a commission, we identified 5 assaults of the residential school policy on the Indigenous family, the Indigenous individuals, and the communities. There was a direct assault on language, because you were prohibited, you know that. You weren't allowed to speak your language. You saw it on the video, you heard it tonight. Also, any cultural manifestation, if you had braids, for example, they were cut off the first day of school. Your name was taken on the first day of school. So my name, for many years after the first day of school, was number 65. 65, come here, you stupid. 65, why'd you do that, you idiot? 65, don't do that again, you dummy. So what happens to a child when you do that to them? Take away their self-identity and give them a number instead. What happens to your pride when you can't manifest your prayer, your ceremonies in your own language? So language was assaulted. And one day I was at the United Nations and we were kind of struggling in a meeting. And someone made an observation that we hadn't opened our meeting with a prayer. So I was tasked to go to speak to old man and give him protocol. And I did that. But I'll tell you this story because I want to ask you a question. Have you ever heard a language die? Have you ever heard a language die? That's not an experience I would wish on anybody. Because the old man, when he came up, he said, I want you to listen to my voice very carefully. Listen to the words I'm going to use, because I'm the last living person that speaks our language. And then he went on to pray for us in his language. About a month later, I got a phone call, and the person at the end of the line said, Willie, the old man died. I said, what old man? Remember the old man that prayed for us at the UN, rooms 27? I said, yes. He died. It was just like somebody took a fist and hit me right in the gut, because I heard one of our languages die. So when we start looking forward to where we need to go tomorrow, right now, we're in the 4th year of the International Decade on Indigenous Languages. I chaired that UN first year of indigenous languages. And they recommended to the UN that 1 year doesn't even scratch the surface because of the way our languages were assaulted. We need a decade at least to try and revive our languages or maintain our languages or strengthen them when we can. So when you heard the drum this morning, and I want to pay tribute to the drum, and you heard the songs, those were prohibited, residential school. You weren't allowed to do that. In fact, you had to hide to do it. So language is so important, I think, going forward into the next decade. Yes, we've gone through a decade and we look back to know where we are today. But I think we should look at the next decade and see what can we do to advance reconciliation. When I look at decades, I'm reminded of a country. After the Second World War, they were actually devastated. And they had a wise leader gathered other leaders together. And he said to them, we're going to recover this disaster, from this disaster. 10 years from now, we're going to be #1 in the world in textiles. And he did it. They gathered again and he said, for this decade, we're going to be #1 in the world on steel. And he did it. The third decade came around and they said, we're going to be #1 in the world in automobiles. And they missed it by 1 year. The next year, they were #1 in the world in automobiles. Then the next plan was to have a decade for information technology, and they did it. So when I look back at the last 10 years and where we are today and where we need to go in the future, I'm kind of thinking maybe we should have a decade plan. How are we going to measure peace, justice, and reconciliation going forward for the next 10 years? Can we be bold, so bold as to say, we're going to be #1 in the world. Canada is going to be #1 in the world in advancing truth, justice, and reconciliation. When we look around today with an indigenous lens at what's going on today, with the wars that are going on, we hear about 5 major wars that are going on. But you know, there are over 100 wars going on right now around the world. 85% of them are on indigenous territories, but you don't hear about them. You hear about Russia, Ukraine, you hear about Israel, Palestine, and yes, they're all bad, but ours are being masked. So we need to look at this decade perhaps, not only at reconciliation, but let's focus on peace. You know, the United Nations, every year they declare an international year for some purpose, some theme, important theme. And 1 year they decided they're going to have an international year for peace. The whole world was to look at what they could do for peace. The Olympic movement, they decided to have an Olympic truce. So for every Olympics, all the countries that are participating at the Olympics, they put down their arms. No wars during that period. The power of sport to advance reconciliation and peace and prayerfully justice. So when we look at today's wars as well, there's not only conflict of armed battles. There's also conflict in peacetime, conflict in peace. I remember late Chief Dan George once said, and I'll paraphrase him, I hope I'm close to what he said. He said, I am a chief, but my power to make war is gone. I can only fight my people's war with words. And if you look at our colleague, the late Justice Sinclair, before he left us on his spirit journey, he said the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples may not solve all the problems, but we're in a war of laws. We're currently in a war of laws. So conflict is happening to us in peacetime. At least to us, I can assure you in Alberta, for sure. We're in a war of law. Not just one, but laws. So I would like to reflect and ask us to pause and think, what can we do going forward in the next 10 years to advance reconciliation? Because one of the main keys that we learned after 6.5 years as a commission, and I hope Dr. Wilson will share with me what I'm going to say, the main lesson we learned after 7,000 stories of abuse, the key is we have to work together. We have to work together. So for the next decade, by the way, we're just about there already in a sense, the 10 principles of reconciliation that TRC of Canada proposed to the country have been changed at the Human Rights Council. They're now the 10 global principles of reconciliation. So having a decade plan, a decade goal like that, it's not impossible, it's very doable. So let's be number one in the world, Canada, at advancing peace, justice, and reconciliation, because we can do it. Aye, aye.
Thank you, Dr. Littlechild, for your words, your guidance, and for your strength. You continue to share with us all. That was incredible. And thank you so much, Rick, for that beautiful song. That was incredible to hear as well. And I'll tell you right now, I would pay a lot of money for the Rick Wilton show. That would be incredible. I'll travel anywhere. I'll pay any amount. That would be fun, as long as I can be the backup dancer. All right, friends, I know it's getting late, but we've had an incredible evening with beautiful speeches, wonderful entertainment. We have one more thing to gift all of you tonight, so we're going to go ahead and start that right now. This is our honoring ceremony. We're so excited. We're going to move into a moment of honor and gratitude for those who are at the heart of this gathering, the residential school survivors and the Resolution Health Support Workers. Now, we are now joined again by the Inuit youth from the Nunavut Suvunik Savut program. I had to learn that one, by the way, who will now distribute commemorative pins to all of us here tonight. Now, these pins were commissioned specially for this gathering and mark the 10-year anniversary of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It was prominently features the survivors' logo, and this logo was created through consultation with over 30 survivors and national Indigenous organizations, reflecting the strength, resilience, and shared experience of Indigenous communities across Turtle Island. The pin is a meaningful symbol of respect, recognition, and remembrance for survivors, honoring their strength and the truth that they carry. Now we ask everyone to remain seated as the pins are being presented, and we now invite Rai Moran to perform his song, All of My Love. And following the pin presentation, the Eagle River Singers will perform an honor song in recognition of survivors and Resolution Health Support Workers.
gets cold and dark, when the lights seem to go out, you need a little spark to take the pain away. When it's too tough, the clouds fill your day with rain. Open your heart, let it in. So if that pain is there and it's taken over, don't be scared. You got a shoulder to cry on, and I'll be there. Come hello, high water. Come hello, high water. You have all of my love, all of my love, all of my love. You have all of my love, all of my love, all of my love. You have all of my love, all of my love, all of my love. You have all, you have all, you have all, you have all of our love. You have all, you have all of our love. You have all of our love, all of our love, all of our love. You have all of our love, all of our love, all of our love.
Amazing Eagle River Singers, incredible. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. What a way to wrap up our evening. But before we have our closing remarks and let you all go, because we know we want to get to your rooms and have some rest, we have a couple things to let you know about. The NCTR statement gatherers are here at the event today and the rest of the week. So visit Gloria and Fallon in the hall to learn more and to register to share your truth. They're going to be taking truth statements all week long. Another reminder that Dr. Littlechild will be joining us again tomorrow, along with Dr. Marie Wilson, for a panel discussion moderated by Rai Moran. That's going to be amazing. And as we near the close of the evening, I'd like to remind you all that we're going to be offering between 7:30 and 8:30 tomorrow. You're warmly invited to join us in the Governor General Room 1 if you want to receive a smudge to start your day in a good way. And Jenny Tanasco and Algonquin from Kitigan Zibi will be with us to offer the smudge and guide us in sacred tradition. Now, to close our evening in a good way, I'd like to invite up to the stage Elder Claudette Commanda to bring us closing remarks. Please welcome her to the stage. Yeah, man. I just read. I don't know. You know what? You're the best way to end the night. You know what? That drumming woke us all up. Got our hearts going again. It's a good night. You're good at this. This is your.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't this such a beautiful evening? What a beautiful, powerful, emotional evening that we experienced. Eloquence, articulation of wisdom, the beautiful drum song, the beautiful children that came up at the choir. Oh my God. And of course, humor. Willie, thank you so much for sharing your story about being a Christmas tree. I thought the song that you were going to sing was, "Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree." But we can all go home tonight and we can all sing, "Oh, Christmas tree," right? I want to thank everyone for making this evening so special. To you, the survivors, I lift my hands to you. We love you. We truly love you. Stephanie, your center, Naomi, your organization, all of us who have come together to make this evening so special in the next few days for our survivors. And it's been said here tonight over and over, what we do here tonight is for our children today and tomorrow. And we must keep on telling these stories so the truth will never die and the truth will remain alive. And let's come together, let's walk together, let's work together for the sake of our survivors today and those that have gone on and are no longer here with us who continue to seek that justice. And we will show Canada and we will show the world that residential schools was indeed a reality. And together, because of our strength and because of our love, we will combat all the denial that's out there. And we must do this together for the sake of our survivors that are here today, our survivors who are no longer here with us, for the sake of our children today, the sake of our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. And let me tell you, our ancestors are smiling because they know that we love them as we love one another. Have a good night. Take good care. Tomorrow morning breakfast, be here, be square. And we'll see one another. Have a good night, sweet dreams. I love you all. Miigwech. And thank you, Koko's boys. And to our MC, too. Hey. Love you guys.
Thank you so much. That was perfect. See, you're brilliant, as always. Love you. Oh, my gosh.
Okay, guys.
Well, that's it, everyone. We are done. You are welcome to go home and get some rest. Miigwech, Wilelin, Marci, Nakormiik, Kananaskumtin. Thank you all. May the Creator watch over you as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the river flows. See you all in the morning. Good night, everyone.